Hello, everybody. Welcome to Percussion Axiom TV. I'm your host, Tom Burritt, and this is an amazing episode. We have sitting right next to me, Nancy Zeltzman, and we're going to do an episode here and talk about some things that are going on that she's spearheaded. You know, as you've watched the show since the beginning, that I've talked a lot about creating new music for marimba and percussion in general, and really, I can't think of anybody that has done a better job of that over an illustrious career as Nancy Zeltzman. So she happens to be here after the convention. She just did a wonderful masterclass for our students here at UT, and so I accosted her to do this, to do Percussion Axiom. So today's Axiom is sort of just a mishmash of everything we've been talking about since the beginning. So we're going to talk a little bit about ZMF today, just to keep things focused for the time that we have.
Okay.
And I think we'll get the word even more out about what's going on. And so just tell us a little bit about, very quick about the beginnings of the project and kind of where you're going with it and where you are.
Okay. Well, ZMF New Music is coming out of ZMF, which stands for Zeltzman Marimba Festival, which is a 2-week festival that I direct annually, usually in July, in different cities. We tend to go back every other year to Appleton, Wisconsin, and then we're in different locales. The idea is to be able to bring in participants as well as audience for our concert series and bring the marimba to more people. And we thought it would be an interesting idea to do a special project that I've been involved for a long time in commissioning new pieces, but really would fill the need for intermediate level marimba solos to get a student from playing some of the kinds of pieces that get your hands moving and get you understanding configurations that you can play, to bridge you to some of the great major pieces that have been written by major composers for the marimba. Still a relatively small collection of pieces relative to what some other concert instruments have.
Absolutely.
The guitar, really different than the kind of library that a violinist and a pianist and a cellist can dip into.
Right. So if you're watching this, how many times have you had a hard time finding a piece for a student, if you're a teacher, or even if you're a player, that's something that's, doesn't have to involve your entire life for 6 months?
Right. So what we're doing is a joint commissioning project. Essentially, it's a grassroots effort where we're fundraising we're hoping to involve students, their families, teachers, schools, clubs, corporations. To
anything really, right?
Any
creative idea for fundraising.
Exactly. We have over 100 contributors so far. We have here we are, beginning of November. We have $19,000 left to raise by April 1st.
Okay, so there's a need right there. If you're watching this, there's a need.
Absolutely.
It's amazing how much they've raised, but they're still not all the way there, and so there's still an opportunity to get involved. And like I've said, I think in episode 3 or 4 or somewhere in there. So.
And the idea is that we're going to have this massive list of contributors who are all
get that. It's right here.
Sharing in the glory of having done this together.
And this is going to be an incredible historical moment for the instrument and its repertoire. And you have an opportunity to have your name in being part of that, and we would certainly welcome that. And we can get into that here in a few minutes and what that looks like. But so there's two proponents to this, right? Mm-hmm. There's a composition contest, and they've got the 8 winners of that.
Right.
8 winners, right?
Yeah. So
set
over a year and a half, we announced this contest internationally, and each piece is 3 to 6 minutes long and intended for an intermediate level player. One of my inspirations for this came from remembering Robert Schumann's Scenes from Childhood, which is a piano collection of sort of childhood-oriented pieces that I played when I was, 10 or 11 and taking classical piano lessons. And then I once saw a very famous concert filmed in Moscow that was Horowitz's last recital in Moscow.
Wow.
And his encore was a piece from Robert Schumann's Scenes from Childhood. And I thought, this is what I want. I don't want these pieces to be studies. We have a lot of studies. I want these to be concert pieces that students can learn to get from point A to be, you know, from the ostinati-based pieces to the complicated, demanding pieces that we have. But in so doing, they're really wonderful, wonderful concert pieces that you and I are going to want to program all of these.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the composers. Is that a good idea at this point? Because you don't get great music if you don't commission great composers. And I don't know about you, I was a piano student at one time too, but my mother was a piano teacher, and I was like a horrible student to her. I was so bad. So you were probably a much better student than I was. But let's look at these composers. So you might not be able to see this, but maybe we should just read them off.
Yeah.
But we have Robert Aldridge,
Louis Andriessen,
Milton Babbitt,
Carla Bley.
These are all serious names. Chen Yi.
Anders Hilborg, Betsy Jolas,
And Steve Mackey.
Lyle Mays.
Now, yeah, that's...
Keyboardist of the Pat Metheny Group.
Yeah, that's
James
phenomenal.
Rolfe, Gunther Schuller, Paul Simon, Stephen Stuckey, Michael Tilson Thomas, Chinner Young, and Erilyn Wallen. And then there's, as Tom said, 8 winners. Those are 16 pieces that we're commissioning. And then there's 8 winners of our composition contest, which we received 150 entries from 20 countries.
Wow.
And it just turned out neat that the winners are from England, the U.S., of course, Israel, Italy, Japan,
Amazing.
and Malaysia. And so it's a very international group of people in addition. And I don't know if I told you that 14 of these 24 pieces are in my possession. I walk in my practice room and I just feel like I'm got this
sitting on them.
gold mine that hasn't been
yeah.
distributed yet. And they're great. They're just great. I'm just giddy.
That's amazing. And so they're coming out in 2 volumes. The first one will be this summer at the ZMF Festival. And I'm going to link up the site for that.
Great.
So if you're interested in that, give money, but you can even go to the festival. If you've never done the festival, I taught there a couple years ago, I think, and had a blast. And this is going to be amazing. There's how many faculty are going to be there?
There'll be 8
Go through the faculty
members.
quick,
Okay,
because people know. And you'll see it on the site, guys, but...
So our website, which has some preliminary information on it already, will have complete details within 3 weeks or so. The dates are June 28th to July 11th, 2009, and we're going to be at Lawrence University in Appleton, Wisconsin. And the faculty will be Ivana Bilic, she's from Croatia, Tom
Putting you
Burritt,
on the spot here.
Tom Burritt, Beverly Johnston,
Who's that guy? No. Tom Burritt. Beverly Johnson, sorry.
Beverly Johnston, Jean Geoffroy, Bill Mersch, Gordon Stout, Jack Van Giem, and myself.
Wow.
So
It's this is such an incredible honor for me to be a part of too, and wow, I'm so looking forward to this summer, and I just wanted to we're going to close the show unless there's something else you want to mention.
I just want maybe just to say that we're running on reserve power.
Yes,
and,
my bad.
And
we're running on reserve power.
There are 24 pieces, and each of us is going to play 3 of them.
Right.
And gala premiere concert on Sunday, July 5th at 2 o'clock. So if you're in driving distance of Appleton, Wisconsin, or you want to fly there ahead of time, July 5th is History Day, we hope, for the marimba.
Yeah, it will be a very significant day for the instrument, and will someday be incredibly historically important. And you'll see it in textbooks. Whatever textbooks look like in the year 2080 or something, right? Okay, so there's a tradition we have. I'm putting you on the spot just a little bit here.
Okay.
We have a question of the episode, which encourages people who watch
Okay.
to leave comments. And so usually if we have a guest, we haven't had that many, but the guest asks that question.
Oh.
It's really fun if we do it sort of off the cuff and, So
Okay,
if you have a
here's the
question, just a poll, it can be a poll question, anything, and then I'll send the responses to you.
Okay. If you play the marimba, have you at some point thought, boy, I don't know what piece I should play next? What piece should I play next? If you have ever asked yourself this question, this book is for you.
Awesome. So I just want to see yes, comment left. Yes, comment left. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely yes.
Yeah, any comments along those lines of how you feel about the search for repertoire?
Awesome.
That's my question.
That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Well, this was great, Nancy. Thank you so much for doing this. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave comments. Spread the word. I ran into so many of you at PASIC this past weekend that watched the show. I'm so glad you came and found me and said keep doing that. So really appreciate that. So
it's a cool thing you're doing.
Oh,
Thanks
well,
for having
thank
me.
you. It's what a high profile guest. I mean, it's just worked out so beautifully. So thank you so much again, Nancy. And you guys, we'll see you later.